been ongoing for months. There were supply chain issues already. Then you have the issue with this one plant, Abbott, whistleblower in September, February, the recall. It's May. Why has it taken so long? And why did the president on Friday seem to say that it was new information to him?
Fundamentally, we are here because a company was not able to guarantee that its plant was safe, and that plant has shut down.
But that is the federal government's job as regulators to help ensure
as
safety
regulators,
of the
yes,
plant.
but let's be very clear. This is a capitalist country. The government does not make baby formula.
Babies are crying. We need to get them food. We must do something as quickly as possible, but as safely as possible, and use caution for these babies. But we have to move quickly to do that. And part of this is, again, the supply chain issue.
Should the president use the Defense Production Act to manufacture more baby formula?
Yeah, I think so, but as the law is now, it is not possible to do that.
All right, well, that was just a sampling of how national Democrats played the blame game yesterday on the national baby formula shortage. As Margaret Brennan of CBS pointed out in that clip, this shortage has been coming for a long time. But President Biden, on a speech on Friday, acted as though this was the first time that he'd heard about it. Take a look.
Should you have taken those steps sooner before parents got to these shelves and couldn't find formula?
If we'd been better mind readers, I guess we could have, but we moved as quickly as a problem became apparent to us.
Mind readers. Apparently he didn't know, but let's listen to what the FDA commissioner had to say about it just this morning.
We've been working with this really since complaints came in about a particular plant that had problems. And as we tried to manage both dealing with making sure the plant is safe, because it makes some really essential components of infant formula, and then also trying to keep up with what's happening in the market by helping other companies fill in the gaps. So this has been a work in progress all along.
All right, here with reaction is host of the Trish Regan Show and editor of the TrishIntel.com, Trish Regan, and executive editor of Newsbusters, Kim Graham. Good to see you both. Trish, I want to start with you. We have the President of the United States acting like nobody saw this coming. Buttigieg and Pelosi are playing the blame game. Meanwhile, we've got this crisis on our hands. But I want to play you what candidate Biden had to say back in 2020 during COVID.
We don't have a food shortage problem. We have a leadership problem. We have plenty of food. It's not a food shortage, it's a lack of leadership. Hunger today isn't about scarcity, it's about massive failure in leadership.
So when Trump was in office and there was a food problem, it was leadership. When he's in office, Trish, it's somebody else's fault.
The ultimate politician, right? Sean, kudos to you and your team for getting that clip, because that really kind of says a lot right there. Look, this problem has been going on, as Margaret Brennan accurately pointed out, for months. And the administration could have, should have known about it quite some time ago. For whatever reason, they kind of just buried their head in the sand. And even though this story started to get pickup in the media, I know we covered it, you guys have been covering it, even though it got that pickup, the administration continued to ignore it and sort of said, oh, it's just something that's out there in the conservative universe. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter, Republican or Democrat, a little baby, it doesn't have a party affiliation. A little baby is being badly, badly affected by this. And this is serious stuff, but there's a whole lot of reasons for problems. Biden should have been on it way earlier. He should have seen this one coming. His team should have seen it coming. He certainly should be more versed in it. But I would just add this. I was looking at some of the numbers, and I think you've got the government really kind of asleep at the switch, because Abbott Laboratories, according to Wall Street Journal, controls nearly half the supply of infant formula. That seems to be kind of an antitrust issue. It's a bit of a monopoly, if you would, on infant formula. So when they go down, the whole lot of the country and babies suffer.
Tim, you guys there at Newsbusters held them accountable to the fact that, hey, you guys, this has been coming down the pike for a while, and the President of the United States looks like he just learned of it.
Absolutely true. And I mean, even worse than most of the reporters not being tough about it, it's the way that the fact checkers went nuts when we started seeing, oh, there's empty store shelves, but there's plenty of formula for the illegal immigrant babies. And then they were all like, oh, 4 Pinocchios. You can't possibly suggest that Biden policies had something to do with this because the law means they have to provide the formula for the illegal immigrant kids. Well, obviously, any mother in this country who's having trouble and having to drive 50 miles to go try to find a can of formula is going to resent the idea that somehow the illegal alien kids get a priority. Law or no law, they certainly aren't good at following the law when it actually comes to stopping the migration.
You know, Trish, one thing that stood out to me on that response that Buttigieg gave to Margaret Brennan, he says, we're a capitalist country. And I'm like, really? Because your policies that this administration follows, it seems like you're grabbing this now, but normally it's all about the government being involved and not supporting capitalism.
Yeah, no, I caught that too. I kind of chuckled, Sean, because now he's saying, well, you know, we can only do so much. It's the company's fault. And we know very well that so much of the policy and proposals and the regulation and the onerous taxes that they just love to stick in there if they could are really not at all in line with capitalist principles. But again, I go back to this. Capitalism wouldn't have allowed this company to have such a stronghold, right, on this market. And so that, again, falls back on the government not doing its job. These guys, they all want to play the blame game, and it's really pretty nauseating right now, given that these are real issues, and these are moms and dads that can't feed their children, and that is probably one of the worst possible feelings in the world for any young parent. So Biden's got to fix this some way, somehow.
Tim, real quick, do you think that anyone in the media, aside from that one question, shown any sign of covering this? I got about 10 seconds.
I think they know it's a problem for Democrats, so they're going to be tough because they're sort of like, guys, you got to fix this before it's too late.